This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 375 for the week of Monday, July 6th, 2015. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
On today's episode, we have the animation director for Rick and Morty and Teen Titans Go. We have Bryan Newton on with us. Hey, Bryan.
Hey, peoples. How's everyone doing?
It's going good. How's it going with you, Bryan?
Yeah, he's not fibbing, folks.
It's Duo Maxwell. That's how he's feeling.
Yeah.
Please, not all at once, guys.
Can I talk to you, Ketchum?
We also have the dude. Hey, dude.
Hey, Zach, and everyone else.
How's it going with you, dude?
Oh, it's going fantastic.
And we also have his counterpart in how he sounds exactly the same. We have our editor-in-chief, Jammer. Hey, Jammer.
Yo.
Dude, it's time for Jammer to...
Sorry about that. It's
okay, no, it's
I'll
fine.
let him talk.
Is this joke getting old?
Jammer.
Now, actually, dude, you are actually doing something really fun the week of Otakon coming up really soon. You want to tell us about it a little bit?
I kind of do, yeah. So Otakon, that's the weekend of July 24th. If any of y'all are in Baltimore at the convention, why not come out to Super Art Fight Unleashed? It's our 18-plus show. You can only get in if you're 18 or older, and no photos or videos, please, because we'll be drawing all sorts of crazy adult stuff that could maybe get us fired from our actual jobs. So go to superartfight.com for more details on that. But if you're going to Otakon, you should totally come. It's going to be awesome.
Now I want to get you fired, so... I hate that guy.
Steve, you've also been at Anime Expo this past weekend. You want to tell everyone a little bit about it?
Yes, I've been in it. It was pretty cool. Brian was also there on a couple days. First of all, I want to thank everyone that stopped by my table. There was a lot of you, and I would like to thank especially those that came like first thing on Thursday, because there was so much crap to take in there, and for a lot of you guys to come see me within the first couple of hours, that was pretty flattering. I just want to say thanks. If you bought some prints or whatever, just came to shoot the shit, or if you gave me a little gift, I'm very humbled by it. It was a fun weekend. It's a shame I didn't get to do too much, but it was all good. The cosplay meetup was freaking huge. That might have been the biggest cosplay meetup I've ever seen, which is so weird because last year's I think was only like half the size of this one, and it was a lot of fun. Everyone was really into it. Some awesome Dressrosa cosplay, some really obscure characters too. Mr. Five, I've never seen a Mr. Five cosplay.
Whoa, really? Because it seems like a very easy cosplay.
Yeah, I like Mr. Five.
Yeah,
I saw Mr. Five cosplay like maybe over 10 years ago. So that's
when like Mr. Five was probably still a new thing.
Yeah, One Piece is gaining more popularity. That's why.
Like I said, like a lot of Dressrosa characters were really well. A lot of good Doflamingos. It was a great con. It's a shame we didn't have a panel, but hey, let's see how next year goes. I already have a table, so I'll be there.
I'm gonna have to bust some heads at Expo next year.
Yeah. He's not messing around. Brian's got the veins in his eyes, right? His eyes.
The Doflamingo veins.
Yeah, he's got the Doflamingo veins. He's smiling, but he looks
I'm
severely
pissed
off
right now.
Surprised you couldn't hear the veins bulge on the microphone.
Yeah, they make that sound effect.
But other than that, I picked up my copy of Season 7 Voyage 1 at the convention and been watching that. And, of course, Josh from Funimation was also there. Got to see him a bunch. Swell dude, as always. But it was more of a DBZ weekend for him as they were premiering the dub for Resurrection F, which we also got to see, and that was a lot of fun. And saw a lot of One Piece, alum there, like, Sabat, Mike McFarland, Justin Cook, a bunch of people there. So it was good. It was a great weekend. Anime Expo, despite all the craziness, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really hope we could put something together next year. I mean, they just didn't work out for whatever reason.
Like, there was a ton of people that wanted to see OPP Japan last year. There's so many One Piece fans on the West Coast. It's just, come on.
Look, you're preaching to the choir. I want to go out there.
Give them a piece of meat on the bone to chew on.
All right, well, we'll do our best to make sure that nothing fall. I don't even know really what happened this year to make it not happen, but
That's the thing. Like nothing happened. We just
we
like, oh,
emailed, we submitted, and we just didn't hear anything. So I don't know what happened.
So I don't know. So I don't know if there's a way you could write in to say who you want to host panels. I think it's really up to them. But trust me, your comments, your pleas have not fallen on deaf ears. We definitely want to do a panel.
Yeah, I think the best way to, they probably have forums or something, or email people. Just let them make your voice heard. You want some One Piece representation at Anime Expo. We will be doing something for Otakon. We are not yet ready to announce exactly what that'll be, when that'll be, and the details for that. You guys will know as soon as we know about that. But today we have a pretty damn special episode. We are going through the 700th episode of One Piece, believe it or not. The anime has been going on since, what was it, 1999, and we're at episode 700.
700.
That is correct.
And we also have the manga recap for chapter 792 on hands and knees. We're getting into some very interesting stuff here. I think we could all agree. I think our fatigue is finally subsiding, and I'm excited to get into that as well. We also have some piece together and a lot more. So you guys ready to get into the show?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Maji.
This is the manga recap for chapter 792 on hands and knees. Ed, what's going on the front page here?
On the front page, we have Leo getting fireflies to write "Happy Birthday in the Night Sky" for Manashiri by Hiro Moritaka from Kyogo, and it's very adorable.
There's really nothing else to say about it, though,
Hey,
is there?
Ed, what do you think Leo's shouting at those fireflies?
I don't know.
This improv sketch is not going quite as...
Okay, Mr. Burns, what's your first name?
Man, this bit fell flat.
What's going on by the cake? Were they eating the cake, or are they? Because it looks like the cake has like a bite out of it.
Yeah, they're all going to eat the cake.
Like,
They're
no, you guys, that cake ain't for you.
No, do you think that the insects are using the cake pieces to form the happy birthday?
Oh. No.
No, they're fireflies.
They fly, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Fireflies.
Oh.
Yeah, they're stuck in that
Oh, obviously.
big
Yes.
bluish blackish thing.
Yeah, what the hell are they doing to that cake?
They're eating it, yo.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect to talk about this for this long.
Oh, you know what it is?
What are they doing?
I think it's the fireflies got tired of forming the Y and the A, and they're just like, we want to eat.
It's like, is she gonna turn around? Come on.
Yeah.
Hey Zach, you
Wait.
should write about this cover page in your piece of the puzzle editorial that you have coming out soon.
No, it's only going to be about this. It's a
Exactly.
It's a
is the key.
21-page article all about this cover page, cracking the whole
Most
One
interesting
Piece.
cover page ever.
And a 50-page thesis on if Lola is Big Mom's daughter.
Damn it, I should have done that. Look
All
forward
right.
to my 20-page thesis. Let's go on to the manga, Ed.
Yep. Well, their celebrations are ongoing. People are still riding all over the place. There's multiple people up in the air, and children are hugging, and it's a good time.
If I could focus on the onomatopoeia, the people
No, you
are,
can't. Next.
No, the people are rawing and the people are also wahing. So a lot of rahs and wahs.
I love the I don't know what gender the person is hugging the kids, but in the middle, just so distraughtly
I think-
happy. I don't know how
No,
to...
that's the husband. Maybe I think we've seen these guys before.
They're new.
Well, no,
Yeah,
the kids are in the anime episode this week. Actually, a lot of the people in this chapter show up in the anime. I just
Either
don't know.
way.
Yeah, I think we now see who the parent figure was to these kids who were crying earlier.
This is a veritable Rawapalooza.
Very well said.
Okay, yeah.
Very well.
Nicely
said.
done.
Oh,
Ed, what's next?
You see Sabo looking up and tipping his hat as he hears the noise, and as the rhyme continues throughout his panel there. But someone is saying, "You aren't going to finish me," and Sabo is walking away. He says, "No need. I think it's all over now." And we see it's Burgess, and he's sort of chuckling to himself. "You're all too soft, you brothers."
the two brothers,
Brian,
3 brothers.
brothers. But you can see that his transponder snail is ringing in his pocket there. But he doesn't hear it because Burgess says to him, "You know what? You want to know what Ace said right before we handed him to the Navy after our captain defeated him at Bonnero Island?" And Sabo looks over with this sort of. They zoom in on his face after
He goes,
before
your
and
father
after.
squealed real good before he died.
Oh, God.
I was gonna go with now. Look, Needles. No one tells me what my brother said before he got handed it.
I mean, this is obviously a parallel to what Akainu did to Ace. You know, hey, you want to hear this thing? How Whitebeard sucks?
Yeah, it's all it was.
No.
Hey, Whitebeard is a stupid head.
How dare you?
Your Ash is a loser.
All right, come on, Ace. This guy sucks at insults. No one calls Whitebeard a stupid head.
Not while I'm alive.
and then he died. Ed, go ahead.
Burgess is so happy with himself right there too.
Yeah.
But back in the underground port, you can see that there's some people talking to each other and say, "Hurry up! It's all over. The Navy's coming soon." And they're trying to contact the commander. They're calling him now, but he doesn't pick up. So these are revolutionaries. They're trying to contact Sabo. He never answers the phone unless he's in the mood. And we see that Burgess is continuing to laugh, and he says, "This is hilarious. You're gonna laugh when you hear it. When Ace learned that he was gonna be executed, he said," and Sabo is just getting even more and more upset. These three versions of the same face on this one page.
What do you say, Steve?
Don't tell my brother.
There you go.
Funniest thing I've ever.
Yeah, I know.
That's super funny.
Man, that guy's a comedian.
At this point, I don't see why it's so funny.
Look at Sabo bite his lower lip.
Yeah, he's really chomping on that bottom lip. He is pissed. Seems like the brothers share temperament in common, but Burgess goes on. He's like, "Oh, what a fool! He had no idea of the value of his life." It's like, of course, this was going to be reported to the entire world that because Ace is such an infamous pirate. And it's like, come on! It's like this is going to be kept a secret from your brother. And Burgess continues, and I'll get to what happens in this panel. It's like the military made sure to get 120%, 100%. There's no such thing as 120%.
Don't tell it to Burgess.
120% of what his life was worth as Sabo dragon grabs his face. And Sabo pretty much just says, "Shut the hell up." It's like I've spent a lot of time thinking about his last thoughts on this earth every single night since it happened, and Burgess lets out a big "Arr!" as Sabo really clenches in.
Cracks. I didn't even see that the first time I read that.
There's lines of pressure.
He's breaking the skull a little bit.
He's like, He says, "I don't need you to explain this to me." As the transponder now continues the ring, and Burgess thinks, "Yeah, that's right, you idiot. Get all worked up." It's like, "I'm not going to let the flame fruit slip out of my grasp." And Burgess says, "You're full of regret for all of your status and power." And Sabo's just looking at him. It's like, "You didn't get to save your brother. For some reason, you weren't there." Sabo wasn't there.
Taking naps.
Yeah, he was probably taking a nap. Like, oh man, I normally don't nap like that. What I miss? Your brother died. No, my brother.
Donde está Ace?
Did someone hit the SAP button on the remote?
It's a very obscure reference.
And Sabo just says, like, "I've had enough regrets," as we see a Zwip as something's about to happen. He lets go of Burgess. What's going to happen?
Well, we see I just want to mention he's holding the knife behind his back while he's talking to him, and he tries to stab Sabo in the head. Yeah, we see that happening on the page.
The Swift is Jesus Burgess trying to stab, and he misses.
Mm-hmm. What an idiot.
That is a Zwip.
What an idiot.
What a dummy. He missed.
Alex?
This senile old fool.
So as soon as his hand pops off of his face, Sabo lets loose Ace's signature attack, Fire Fist, at point blank range and blows Burgess away. You can see him just engulfed in flames. I can't tell whether or not that's his beard or flames. It's crazy. And there's this really sweet panel of Sabo, just the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
His hand lit a flame. Burgess crashes, and the transponder snail is still ringing. And you hear Burgess's cries of agony as he is being burnt by that.
I hate you.
You're my brother.
Yeah,
I love you.
More like burnt Burgess.
Not the first time Burgess has been burnt by the fire fist.
No, but this is pretty severe.
Hey, what if after this Emperor Palpatine came to Burgess's aid by his side, what would he ask Burgess?
He'd probably say something like I don't know, like how would you like to come with me and
That's not what he said. He's like, Jesus, Burgess, can you hear me?
Oh, right. We're doing that.
From Revenge of the Sith. Remember?
I don't want
Yeah, that's a movie. So anyway, back to the ranch. Sabo explains to Burgess as he's lit a flame, I was going to let you go, but Ace here said you deserved it.
Just like that.
That sounds like
Torrance.
Just like
that
Star
sounded
Fox.
badass until you said it.
Well, I mean, he's basically like Ace's will, is still good and strong, and we have
Take this act
have
on the road like a
disagreements.
Grand Line Jeff Dunham.
Oh my god, Ace the burnt up devil fruit user.
What's with all these references? What's going on?
I don't know.
I'm getting lost now.
know. All right, so we hear a click. The transponder snail finally gets picked up. Koala is pretty mad. She's asking Sabo, where in the world are you? I saw Burgess going after Luffy, so I tried calling you and you never picked up. And he's like, well, I wasn't bothered. And she's like, what? Say what? And he said, don't worry, everything's taken care of. More importantly, did you find the list? And she's like, yes, I found the list. Then calling the ship, I already did. I'm way ahead of you. You're the irresponsible one.
The
Sabo's like,
continues.
This really fits in with the anime episode last week. It's the same kind of lecture.
Yeah, so let's meet up with Hack underground next. We're already here, waiting for you, you piece of shit.
Hack is already here. I'm Jinbei's best friend. I know.
He just
karate.
hangs up the phone.
I know
Hey.
Fishman Karate. I know Jinbei.
He hangs up the phone, and she takes out all her anger on this guy who I'm gonna call Mustache Mickey.
Baron Tamago Jr.
Hi, I'm Mustache McGee.
Oh, hey, Mustache McGee. I'm Gary Goatee, your cousin.
Okay.
Jammer.
Anyway,
I'm a revolutionary too.
so we cut to some random places in Dressrosa. We see some Marines running around. And then we have a transponder snail guy talking, saying, hey, we've got this Don Quixote family here. And we cut to all of the officers. We have 8 officers in total.
That's the Jammer. I'm curious if you remember the names of all these people.
Hell no, not all of them.
No, try it. Just
No, I want you to try. You can
Try,
make
try.
up names
And
if you don't remember.
Just say a name. If you don't know the exact name,
I
the
hate
best
all
name
of
possible.
you. Okay. All right, we got Buffalo.
Yes.
We had, oh my god, I hate this lady already. I want to say Queen, but that's not right.
No, that's
No,
Queen
just
Orica
don't-
Vecchi.
It's the art lady. I just don't know who that is.
don't
What her
tell
name
him.
is.
Don't tell him when he's
best.
correct or when he's not.
Oh
correct.
yeah, just
Let him
make
go.
up a name. Go on.
Yeah, first panel.
Only Jammer
go.
speaks.
First panel.
I-
Who is?
Okay, that's Buffalo.
Okay.
Keep going.
That is oh my god,
Just say.
Marie. Well, not Marie. That's the fucking place, but
Okay.
something.
Number 3.
Something. Number 3. I forget his name.
No, say something.
Say just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Make it up.
Hammond. Just watch Jurassic World. For
Four. Four.
Sugar.
Yes. 5.
Steve.
Yes. Circle gets the square.
6.
Lauji.
7.
Mr. Anime.
Yeah, we will accept that.
That's acceptable. 8.
Oh my God, Senor Pink.
9.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a big one.
Oh my God.
Very literally.
It's not
Literally.
Joseph Joestar.
It's confusing to me because he looks like Hody Jones right there.
He kind of does. He does. 10.
Diamante.
Sure.
Okay.
11.
Who is keeping track?
11. Oh yeah, there's
Next
more.
page.
There's more.
Anyways, the characters in One Piece, I feel like the second they stop being relevant to the plot, I completely forget their names. Even though these people, I knew their names probably a week and a half ago, and I don't know them anymore.
All right, so what's number 11 there?
Number 11, the guy who should have been cut in half but wasn't,
Right.
Mr. Slime Dude. And
what about the last one over there?
the last one is oh God, what is his name? I'm kidding.
Don Flamingo.
I'm kidding. It's Don Flamingo.
Don Flamingo.
Don Flamingo. I want to mention something about the spread. I totally forgot about Buffalo. And I think of how uneventful it was that Kiros kind of just like, come here, and like snapped his neck, and that was it.
Wait, can we go through all the names really quick?
Yeah, well, who wants to try?
I can do that.
No, I know Ed can. I want to
Brian,
hear
I'll
someone
do
who.
that. It's easy.
Brian's got this.
Brian, do it.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Gloria, Machvice, Sugar, Dellinger, Lao G, Gladius, Senior Pink and a groupie, Pika, Diamante, Treble, Doflamingo.
Pretty good.
You said Gloria. That's not.
It's
Gloria.
Oh my God, you know the groupie?
Jola.
Jola.
The groupie I thought was Cavendish for some reason. That looks exactly
No, that does look like him.
That does look good.
Cavendish
I
has some
wearing
boobs.
bras.
Anyways,
Yeah.
whoever is on the transponder snail says all these officers, they have devil fruit powers, or nearly all of them have devil fruit powers. So make sure we use Sea Prism Stone. And then we have an awesome shot of Doflamingo, basically getting besieged by some of the Marines, and his reign is officially over. And they're
It's
walking.
just revoked.
Well, when they put the gag in his mouth there, I think that's it.
Yeah, the gag's there, and they wrapped him up.
Is
Yeah.
that what that is? I think that's what that is.
Looks like
Yeah.
that
I think
or
so.
a chain or a bandage. I'm not sure.
No, it looks like something's wrapped around his mouth.
I think they gagged him, which
Yeah.
kind of makes sense
One of
since his tongue is always out.
One of those Marines is like, hey, you a pretty girl.
And
No?
the
The only one? Just me? Okay.
And I'm incredibly disappointed we still are not seeing his eyes. And one of the Marines says, have we contacted HQ yet? And the guy says, no, actually, for some reason, Isho, he said we're not supposed to report in yet. I wonder what that can be. Why? We cut to a nearby island called Apple 9 Island, and they get a random broadcast on their big screens, and the audience is wondering what's going on. Like, is King Doflamingo saying something? And everyone's curious. And then we hear a voice and see an outline, a silhouette.
Well,
And he's here.
before we continue, notice that Apple 9 Island has apples on the island.
I really wish they showed Candy Apple Island.
Yeah. Brian.
Nobody.
What do they have there, Steve?
Apes, but they're not as big.
Nice.
Okay. Shout out to everyone's favorite Marine Vice Admiral Maynard. Saying,
Maynard.
this is only going out to 3 of the nearest islands. I am Vice Admiral Maynard.
Say it like that one more time.
I am Vice Admiral Maynard
Maynard.
of Naval HQ. And then,
Does he like really love his job?
I think he does.
Nah, I'm Maynard. Love my job.
It's the glasses. Maynard G. Krebs. Okay. So everyone in one of the islands, I guess that's island number 9. Actually, if you look, there's like 2 groups of citizens on this page. There's like one with like Indian or Native American headdresses, and another with just like regular.
I think these are the remaining 2 of the 3 islands we're looking at.
You know, you say
these must be
they-
other islands.
Yeah, because there's no snow in the last one.
Right. Or the other one. I don't think there's snow in either of them.
There's snow in the first one.
The very first one, Apple 9, yeah. But not the other 2.
Right.
Okay.
And so like everyone's noticing like it's just a ton of rubble. What's going on? And he's like, Maynard goes, "What you see behind me is the current state of Dressrosa."
He looks like Diamante the
Why
way
is
he's
he happy
standing.
about
Yes.
He's reporting. He's so.
I don't think he's actually happy.
No, he's so excited to be the center of attention. That's the
He's
way.
like-
I'm
like to the
Vice
camera.
Admiral. I'm Vice Admiral Maynard, and this is the current state of Dressrosa.
I just imagine saying to the cameraman, all right, I want you to close up on me, and then when I start talking, zoom out really fast. So it's like
Yeah.
a dramatic reveal.
I imagine him talking like Richard Quest or whatever his name is from CNN with the super exaggerated British accent. which I can't do, and I'm not
What
gonna
you
try
see
to.
here behind me is the current state of Dressrosa.
You did like a weird.
Robin Leach.
Now that'd be much louder.
Maynard was a journalism major.
What's next, Brian?
Okay, so everyone's like, "What does that mean?" Then goes back to Dressrosa, and Maynard goes, "Looks like the range of the visual transponder stairs reaching 3 nearby islands. Good. I'll explain what happened here." As I ordered.
I think one of the soldiers said that to him.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, everything's broadcasting to the nearby islands.
Oh yeah, you're right. I misrepresent where the arrows.
Wasn't that something they should have told him first?
Yeah,
It's
I was thinking that
this
too.
is the current state of Dressrosa. Vice Admiral, we're not on the air. I was just rehearsing.
I feel like this was from before, but it's not clear. It feels like this is jumbled slightly for
You
whatever
mean like a
reason.
mini flashback, kind of what they have?
Yeah.
Nah, that's just this guy doesn't know how to do camera shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like Buggy during the war. They're just like figuring.
He's
out.
like, oh yeah, like is this thing on?
Oh my
I'm
God, they
Bucky.
were terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
So it goes like one of the Marine soldiers goes, "As I ordered, take the other visual snail and."
No,
follow-"
Maynard's saying that.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
You're mixing up everything.
Too many speech bubbles.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, too many speeches. As I ordered, take the other visual snail and follow Iso with it. Goes, yes, sir. And then we cut to another part of Dressrosa and goes, King Riku. Please, no, none of that. I guess that's Riku.
No,
No, that's not my name. Stop calling me that.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
No.
And then King Riku goes, even with the misunderstanding fixed, I cannot return to the throne. And everyone goes, no, you're the only king for us, for this country. We've had enough of violence.
No more dead cops.
Yeah. What's that from again?
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Fuck yeah, thanks. No more dead cops. Okay.
So thank you, officer.
Yeah. And even if everyone in the kingdom shared your way of thinking, what would you do then? Then goes King Riku goes, no, when push comes to shove, the Riku family ideals are brittle and weak.
If you take out the word ideals from that sentence, yes.
Yes.
See, the Riku family is
Nice.
a lot like peanut brittle.
Has been proven by this whole debacle, says King Riku. And then more clamors from the idiot gallery. It's like, we don't care if we fall in the ruin. What? We want you to be our king who doesn't fight. We want you to resist war. And if it causes our land to collapse, well, we're risk taking that.
Democracy, folks.
Look at his odd G's face.
Yeah, that's a.
It's like, we don't care if we're pussies.
That is an odd G's face.
If someone picks a fight, I'm just gonna lay down.
I'm kind of disappointed because I thought Riku was like, nah, my time is up. You know.
Yeah, me too. I didn't want Riku to like reclaim.
Riku's like
yeah.
you know,
let's save that discussion.
My own shadow. I don't want to fight. And everyone's like, oh, we don't care. I could relate.
I want to save that discussion for the end
Yeah.
because it's kind of like the crux
I
of the
have
chapter.
things to say.
Me too. We don't care if we're poor. Just make Dressrosa a land of peace. Someone else continues.
You know, other countries will give us money. You know, like Greece.
Hey, too
It's
soon.
in the news, man.
Elisabello comes in then and says, please, King Riku. I know King Riku. He's my best friend. Unlike Hack, he actually gets to prove it a little bit here. And,
By the way, he's not saying please King Riku. They are.
oh, you're right.
He's just
Sorry, then I should have been doing it in one of those
How
voices.
so hard is it, Zach?
Let me continue anyway. So then Elisabello says the fighting king that stings a bit. So coming from Elisabello, who is a king that does fight, as we've seen, he said, that stings a bit that people want such a peaceful king. And Riku's a little surprised to see Elisabello. I think we had predicted that they didn't really know each other, which would have been pretty funny. But no, they do. And you see some of Riku's guards coming in saying, you have to return to the palace. The snails are off the hook. And he says, well, and Elisabello says, I made some calls. So people are expecting you to return to the throne. They're going to be overjoyed about it. And everyone is cheering the king of Prudence, Elisabello.
Yo, Marvin, this is your cousin, Elizabello. You know that new king you're looking for? well, King Riku's back, and you should tell people. All right.
Elizabello Berry.
Good talking to you. No. Yeah, we don't know Elisabella's first name. It's just King Elizabella. Yeah, so
Marvin Elizabello.
Marvin
You
Elizabella.
You should have done that.
Anyway, Elizabella says, "You've gotten so old in 10 years. What happened to you? You used to be the guy with like the guilt eye, the evil eye. I imagine it is the guilt eye because that's how I see the evil eye. Anyway, not to make this too personal. And
your tits are back, Riku.
And they're magnificent.
And he says, look, you're the ones who stare down our neighbors to make sure they didn't wage war. That's who we need back. So come back to us, Riku Doldo, King of Miracles." And then...
I thought you said Rico Dildo.
Yeah, every time we say his full name, someone thinks like, "Tee, you said the funny word." It happened to me. And I thought, Zach, I thought you pronounced it fine, but no, Jammer over here, Mr. Giggles.
Yeah, sorry.
Mr. Gigglepuss. Bit of a gigglepuss.
Weisenheimer.
And we see Fujitora tapping his way over, saying, "Yes, indeed, good King Riku." Not at all the voice we have given to Fujitora.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
So good of you to come, King Riku.
Fujitora is actually the Deadwoodish voice, and I'm messing that up. Sorry, Steven. Saying, "Look, we can't have you taking all the blame for the hell Doflamingo raised." And Riku's just surprised by everyone walking over. Fujitora! And Fujitora explains, "Look, the force that's responsible for letting that vicious..."
San Francisco cocksucker.
What?
What the hell is going on?
It's a Deadwood reference.
I should probably watch Deadwood at some
You
point.
could just make him sound like Mr. Magoo if that makes you
Don't
feel
do
good.
it. Deadwood is so boring.
I've heard very good things about Deadwood.
This is a manga recap.
For God's sake, can we talk about One Piece? You know it's bad when I'm the one
Steve, you don't
saying
get to
that.
say that.
No, I've seen the error of my ways.
No, you didn't.
No, you have not.
There's
But
no
this
place like the
5-second
manga
period,
recap.
it does-
There's no place like the manga recap. There's no.
Oh, I don't get a reference. Stop talking about not One Piece thing, guys.
Hey, I tied it in with One Piece. You can't shit on me for that.
Anyway, Fujitora says, look, the force responsible for letting that vicious pirate Doflamingo hold reign officially under the authority of the warlords of the sea system, that's the world government's fault.
By the way, Fujitora hates that. He hates the warlords, so.
Yeah, we've...
It's nothing if not consistent.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because he's like, it's like, the force responsible is those pirates, who, by the way, are under the warlords of the sea system, which I don't like. I could tell you more about that if you want, but Fujitora's like, no, this whole thing is the fault of the world government.
I could tell you more about it, but I have this pamphlet that I can hand you.
I can't read it, but I can hand it to you.
So he says, the people of the kingdom, the people of the royal family. Ed, you want to finish that sentence off?
Allow me to most humbly apologize on behalf of the government.
That's what?
What?
Good one.
And
We have
all
done
the,
you a terrible disservice.
and all of the Navy are bowing down. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like-
that's insane. That's what you do for full penance in the Japanese culture. Down on hands and knees, head pretty much in the ground at that one. But there's Oda boxes to finish off as we look over the astonished people and the guy taking photos. What a scoop!
damn paparazzo.
Yeah, it looks like Mario.
Yes. What's up, Kazanos? I got a scoop for you.
Hey,
got-
Luigi, check it out. This
gotta
guy
tell
is
them.
bowing.
So this is how they're going to prevent what happened with. I think Fujitora has learned from what happened at Alabasta, even though he wasn't in the Navy then. He has to make sure that this gets out to the public before it gets back to the headquarters. So
Smart guy.
yeah, we have Oda boxes to finish off. The false prosperity and true nature of mighty Dressrosa, the fall of Doflamingo, the world's greatest black market broker, and Naval HQ Admiral Fujitora prostrating himself in apology. The massive incident trapped within the cage was unleashed upon the world, and the headlines read, "That pirate alliance just took down Doflamingo, the heavenly demon."
I see a bounty increase.
That's
Well,
like
That's asked a lot in the piece together, so we'll probably address that as well. I think we should start generally, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the specifics, especially this last page I want to discuss a little more. But first, what did you think of the chapter? Let's start with Bryan.
Yeah, I thought this chapter was pretty good. A lot of dialogue, a lot of explanation of things. I almost like when I first read this chapter, I completely forgot about all the Sabo stuff in the beginning. Because that was like the initial like, whoa, Fire Fist.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that too.
Yeah, and then like when the whole Riku stuff started happening, I kind of like got absorbed with that about like Isho's Fujitori's play in this, which came down pretty interesting. I can't wait to see the ramifications from it.
Agreed. Jammer.
I liked the chapter, but I disliked some aspects. I think this chapter reinforced how boring King Riku is to me. I don't like him at all. Like, he's really boring, and I don't know. I just don't like him. I feel weird about that, but I don't care for him too much. It's also a bit weird to me. It's kind of cool, the whole Burgess thing, and as well as the Fujitora thing. They kind of been doing nothing this entire arc, and it's kind of weird how, like, Oda has just kind of had them pretty much do almost nothing the entire arc just so they can have these sort of payoffs. I think that's kind of interesting, but also I think almost a bit of a letdown because neither of them...
I'm sorry. No, finish what you're saying.
Because neither of them really have done anything this entire arc, and I'm not even sure, personally, as of right now, Burgess's whole thing really didn't pay off for me. Like, yeah, he got taken down by Sabo, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure what that really does for anybody or the plot.
I think that might be a longer term setup.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a setup for this arc.
You don't think? Did you say you don't think Fujitora did anything?
Not really. Well, what did he do?
Well, first of all, he was introduced in this arc.
Yeah, but what did he do?
His whole thing was like, was like, hey, let's follow our instructions for now, and pretty much like Fujitora was like, I know what's gonna happen here, but let's follow orders for now. Fujitora is,
yeah, I think I know what you're
like. He's pretty much like he's the most like aware of the worlds of all the admirals, or no, I wouldn't say of all the admirals. He's so empathetic to civilians, and first of all, he had a pretty badass fight with Sabo that I know kind of ended in a draw, but Fujitora's introduction to the series kind of meant to show that, hey, there's someone involved with the Navy or the world government that's looking out for the people and knows that the world government is messed up. So I think just Fujitora's existence, just being introduced, I think that's doing a lot.
No, but I understand what you mean by that. Like, I agree. Fujitora, yes, ultimately is an important character. But to me, it's just disappointing because I feel like Oda was just like, all right, we're just going to keep this guy out of the way for the time being because I need him to pay off later.
I actually think that was the point of his plan. I think the point of the plan what this showed is that he wanted everything to play out as it did, just so Fujitora can step back and show the folly of like the world government, specifically the warlord system.
I think that's exactly right.
Okay,
yeah,
it's interesting to see
pirates in power.
He's a Navy admiral who is intending to humiliate the government. So he's out. Well, basically, he's
I like that.
He's intentionally not fixing the situation in order to make it look as bad for the current system as possible to try and take it down, which is a completely logical thing for him to do.
Well, let me just put it this way, quick. It was in the preview in this week's anime episode, but it was last week, I think, in 699 or 698, where Fujitora is talking to Sabo, and he's like, "Look, we share a lot of common ideals, but." I mean, obviously, we're on different sides. I'm going to put a wager on, essentially, Luffy being able to take care of the situation. And I just happen to be a very lucky guy.
And we'll just tell everyone that our fight went to a draw.
Which actually, and it fits, and it's a really nice kind of analogy that started out with him gambling when we first meet him and doing very well at it. Maybe not being told that he was doing very well, but
he knows when to hold them, when to fold them, know when to walk away.
Yes.
Nobody ever called him the coward of the county.
But I think that fits. It's not the sin of omission here. He's purposefully standing back. So I agree with what everyone
I like
has
that.
said.
Like,
yeah.
I actually didn't think about the fact that he was purposefully like letting things happen for that reason. I thought it was just kind of like he wasn't sure what to do, was kind of waiting around, and now
Yeah.
he feels sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna reap some hell for this for sure, because he should have done his job and stopped both Doflamingo and Straw Hat from like causing this damage.
Well, I mean, what's the point of? I feel like there has to be a point to this, right? The point of this is to embarrass the world government.
So no, it's not to just embarrass the world government, Jammer. I think it's just to dismantle the 7 warlord system. And if you think about it,
But in order to do that, he needs to embarrass the world government, right? In order to throw it out there.
I don't think he's out there to make the world government look bad. He's part of the world government. I mean, yes, I think that's just something that happens.
I think to make a distinction, he thinks that the 7 warlord system is an embarrassment. He's not.
Right.
It's nothing that he's doing is causing embarrassment. It's what the government is already doing.
Right.
But he allowed things to go through so that it can be shown to the world what happens when you have the 7 warlord system and basically expose the world government thing. So embarrassing the world government.
And it's very interesting since think about the state that the 7 warlords are in right now. I mean, Law is not really there anymore. I think he's officially now going to probably be off that list. And you have Doflamingo officially off. It was what Bryan Newton was saying back in chapter 700. It's like this major important system is starting to break down again like it was last time Luffy showed up.
Buggy is, he's a paper tiger, kind of.
I mean, the rest of them, I guess replacing 2 isn't such a huge deal. But
Is Moria still there?
No, Moria's gone. Moria's been gone since the war. It's just Hancock, Buggy,
Mihawk,
Kuma.
Did Law really get kicked out of the Warlords already? I mean, it's only been like not even a day.
It was the whole thing on Greenbit when it's like, oh, if you say that you and Straw Hat Luffy are equal, you can't be a warlord. He's just like, we're equal.
Sure, but that was literally earlier in the day though, so there's no way that the Marines.
It's not official yet.
But the thing is, the weird thing here is Doflamingo is already technically kind of officially out of the warlords because that newspaper went throughout the world and no one knew it was fake except for the people inside of Dressrosa, if you recall.
They reprinted. They reprinted later that day, saying he's still a warlord. Don't freak out.
Was there? There was a reprinting? Okay.
That's why
now this is going to be a third. Sorry.
God, the newspaper's going to be really embarrassed at this one.
Printing. Actually, we were right the first time. Crazy day, guys. We're sorry.
Which further cements like the incompetency of the world government.
Yeah, but this also imbalances the world because I think the 5 Elder Stars in their first appearance talked about the maintenance of, or maybe it was after
3 powers. No, I think it was volume 24.
It's after Alabasta. Yeah. You have to maintain the consistency of the 3 powers: the 7 warlords, the 4 emperors, and the Navy HQ.
Right.
So those are the 3 powers. The world is becoming unstable, folks.
Yeah. The first time we saw them was after Crocodile, and this is just as big as Crocodile, if not more so.
I'm sure we'll see the 5 elders again, which we've been talking about those guys a lot in the read-through.
The Council of 5, I think that's how many members there were on there.
People who never seem to age.
Yeah. I don't think that's... I don't know how true that is. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, we didn't actually see them very much in Robin's flashback.
No, we didn't. Yeah,
they're always in shadow, which is suspicious because that's 20 years ago. They would look markedly different.
Yeah,
I don't know. Old people age less sometimes.
That's what you guys say.
That's also true. I haven't seen. It's possible. I think you could be right. I just haven't seen any proof of that.
Well, we know what Sengoku looks like now and 20 years ago.
He looks a lot different.
He looks different, yeah.
Yeah, he aged like shit.
But Zach, what did you think about this episode, man?
Chapter. At first I want to let Dude go. Dude hasn't went yet.
I have not. Yeah, I enjoyed this chapter. It actually felt like we moved stuff along. The Sabo stuff, I was initially really worried because I'm like, oh, Jesus, they're not going to repeat an ace, versus Akainu, are they? And they didn't. So that was kind of cool, I guess.
It's also because Sabo is so much stronger than Burgess, apparently.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Me too.
I'm surprised nobody talked about Elizabello.
You really surprised by that?
I am. Because he had a lot of he had a lot of really cool lines. He's like a real friend to King Riku, and he's like for him, the fighting king, to say that, I don't know. He showed a little bit of development. He's a really, really cool character.
I agree with Dude. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's kind of a big surprise because originally he he almost seemed mute when he was first introduced because like Dogma was doing all the talking. So yeah, I guess it's really nice to see a little more development on Elizabella.
Yeah, I really like Elizabella. Aside from King, King Punch of course is awesome.
I like his jawline. I like his when he's drawn in profile. I really like that.
No, me too. But like I feel like he was overlooked a lot in this chapter. And it goes to show you how buddy these kings are, and like how chummy their kingdoms can be. And it's also funny because I made me realize that that Luffy has saved a lot of kingdoms.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is King Riku witness to the events that happened in Dressrosa, but also the King of Prodence, so another king. So I feel like
at the Reverie, is that what you're?
I'm gearing up for the Reverie. I hope it happens in between arcs very soon because we've got another kingdom yet saved by Luffy. You can add that to Fishman Island. You can add that to Alabasta. You can add that to Drum Kingdom.
Well, Skypiea is not a proper kingdom, but yeah, those people are on his side too.
Sure.
Yeah, but they won't be at the Reverie. I mean, you have Vivi, who's probably going in place of her dad, who is ailing at the moment. Right. You got Dalton. I guess Wapple's the only one who really probably does not.
Wapple's like, oh god, not this asshole again.
Yeah, Wapple's
there's
pushing
always
enough
got to
to
be dissension.
Yeah.
I made my own kingdom. Ha 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 ha.
He bought it. What I'm getting at though is that there are going to be so many like people sticking up for Luffy. Maybe I don't know. Like at this point. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. We've got the 7 warlords potentially being disbanded. If Fujitora's plan comes to fruition. So that's one major power out of the way. Then we have a whole bunch of kingdoms, like all the kingdoms of the world, speaking up for this pirate, the son of Dragon, one of the worst generation. There's so many cogs that can be thrown into, so many wrenches that can be thrown into
the gears.
The gears here. And this Fujitora apologizing on behalf of the world government is humongous. That's going to shake everything up.
Yeah.
This is truly. I'm sorry. This is truly the payoff for this long as fuck arc. Honestly,
Bryan, you were gonna.
Yeah, Bryan, please.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I agree with you fully, and that's why I suspect that the Reverie will be it's part of the long con of One Piece, where all these kingdoms have been slowly being won over by Luffy. That by the end of the series, I think, is when we'll actually get the Reverie. Like when the Straw Hats are on their way to Raftel and dealing with that is when the Reverie will probably be taking place, and the world government literally deciding what to do about them. And half the kingdoms that they've saved saying, "Hey, the Straw Hats are okay," and another part saying, "Hey, they're pirates. We should deal with them as pirates do." Because, they can expose us.
I think the timing of the Reverie is a little tough because we also saw that the guys in Alabasta, when we had that cover story, where are they now? What are they up to?
They were prepared for the Reverie.
Yeah, they were literally picking out clothes.
Yeah. But remember how long, this has been 2 years and it's only been, less than a day.
Well, no, it's since we've got into the new world, it's been, I think, a couple days at this point because we went to Punk Hazard, and then we sailed from Punk Hazard to Dressrosa. Dressrosa, yes, has somehow been 1 day and it's still light out. I don't understand how it's still light out, but
it's still
it could be sunset, Zach. Let's not rule that out.
Yeah.
So the sky could be that orange purplish.
Yeah. So by the time the Straw Hats get the Raftel, it could only be a month later from it is right now in their time.
I highly doubt that. I think there's I personally think there's gonna be another there's gonna be a lot more time that passes between.
That'd be kind of disappointing though. Oh hey, after 2 years we're back and we only got about a month left of this adventure. So
yeah, for them.
I mean, for us.
Yeah, for us it's another 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic of discussion. Just to put my 2 cents in here, I think we would all agree that this last page is probably going to be one of those iconic 2-page spreads you see everywhere. I think this is definitely a big turning point in the story, even though we might not completely understand the ramifications of it yet.
We might not appreciate this yet.
Yeah, I think this is, as everyone said, this has a lot of potential to shape the world, which is...
Also, I'm sorry, Zach.
No, go.
No, I just want to say it's also a gorgeous looking panel. I really love all the little details.
Yeah, and that as well. And I think what Dude said is very interesting in how this could really set forth things in the future. Just to cover a few of the other things in the chapter, I like that Maynard gets a little more to do, because why not? Yeah.
Are we rolling? All right. Okay. This is the current state of Dressrosa.
Are we still rolling?
Hey, do you want me to zoom out? Yes, intern.
Look, I've had a very hard first day.
I wonder how Oda decides which vice admiral gets to do random things at the end of arcs.
I'm really surprised that because I was watching the anime too, that Oda picked like a new vice admiral to bring in this arc. Because there's so many Marines that probably aren't ever going to get much development.
Well, what happened to Bastille? I mean, besides getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah, totally.
His ass has been handed to him. He is in possession of his ass. He's just knocked out right now. I'm honestly surprised that Oda didn't pick one of the vice admirals from Marineford. He just went with this totally new one.
Well, it's because when they introduced Maynard, remember he was like undercover for the Marines.
But when we were introduced to Maynard, it was like the second or third page he's in and says Maynard. No, Catman, but he's really Maynard, Vice Admiral.
Well, you remember he got a whole chapter named after him, so it's supposed to be someone we don't really know.
I guess.
There's nothing wrong with new Marines. I'm happy to see new Marines. Fujitora was one of the coolest things in this arc because he was a new Marine, and he definitely continues to be one of the highlights of this arc for me. As it comes to a close here, I think some of the most interesting stuff is that the next chapter promises it almost blatantly promises what's about to happen, saying it's finally unleashed upon the world. I feel like what other transition can we have other than seeing the rest of the world next week? I hope. I'm very excited for what's to come. Are there any other thoughts on this chapter?
I thought it was pretty good. It's a Straw Hat-less chapter, though.
That's a good point.
Interesting point, yeah.
Well, I mean, Sabo's kind of there. He's a brother of...
Yeah.
Oh, that reminded me something I wanted to mention.
How much stronger Sabo is than Burgess?
No, I mean, I think we knew that already.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It's great to see. I mean, remember Burgess and the Blackbeard crew are kind of supposed to be the parallels of Luffy and his crew, so they're supposed to be somewhat close in strength, so it's not surprising that Sabo could kick Burgess's ass. But that's not what I want to say. I'm wondering if Luffy's going to get that final moment with Sabo before Sabo heads off to do his work, the stuff he has to do.
I have to go now. My work needs me.
They give each other meaningful looks and then walk away.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how that's going to go down. I think it'll be a nice moment if it happens. I guess the if is especially strong.
We'll meet on the Revolutionary Summit.
I also continued.
It took me a while. I did like a double laugh on that one.
I got it.
Okay, anyway, why don't we just go into the next segment?
Well, I want to say one more thing.
Well, no, it's too late. No, go ahead.
I think we'll all agree here that I think, or at least Zach, at the very least, Zach will agree that the most interesting things about the entire Dressrosa arc are about to happen. Like all the great aftermath stuff, and I think it might be the best one yet because there's so much ramification to deal with.
Well, look, if we're 92 chapters in this arc, if we do not have some awesome extended scenes of the rest of the world reacting to this and seeing the people at the top of the world government and the revolutionaries.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Whoop Slap's reaction.
Nope. One more thing, question I have though. What exactly is regarding our bet of when the Dressrosa arc ends? Is that when the Straw Hats leave? Is that what the deal
when
is?
they leave the island?
Okay.
Just
so many people at AX like, oh yeah, Dressrosa's over, and I'm like,
Just to keep you guys, we might as well do this now since you brought it up. Ed, this was your chapter, so you have officially lost. I'm sorry. I did too, if that's any difference.
You lost 2 weeks ago.
I know. Next week, if we end somehow, is Steven. And then, dude, you're after that, so.
Crossing my fingers.
794.
I'm at 798, I think.
Brian is looking the best right now. He picked 802, and then Josh is 805, so maybe we'll have a Josh-hosted One Piece podcast.
Yeah, totally. I could see that. But 798, hey, that's me. Maybe
Steve could host a podcast. That's never happened. Okay. Why don't we go to the next segment?
All right. This is the anime recap for episode 700, The Ultimate Power, The Secret of the Op Fruit. And to celebrate 700 episodes, we have 7 minutes of recap this week. Holy shit.
Wow.
way too long.
So when we get up to episode 1000, it will be 10 minutes of recap and so on and so forth.
Still might not be. I think this is approaching one of the longer total recaps of the series.
NES Lobby, I think, had a few 8s.
Yeah, that's about as bad as it's been. I don't remember back to like Impel Down or
anyway, please.
I don't remember any of them being this bad.
Let's not dwell on this.
Yeah. So we start off the episode in Primula in the northwest of Dressrosa, where shit's all fucked up.
Oh, did you guys notice the very the Hanna-Barbera thing where the same animals were running in front? It was horse, giraffe, horse, giraffe, horse, giraffe.
No, I didn't notice that, but
why are there so many giraffes in Dressrosa? Well,
yeah. The animation didn't appear noticeably bad this week. It just seemed sort of it was good. It was the good animation, not the stellar, super high quality, glossy stuff. But it was the regular One Piece animation this week.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was acceptable.
Zach, I have an answer for your giraffe question.
Oh yes.
It's because giraffes are sort of polka dotted, and everybody knows that Dressrosa is the land of polka dotted things.
Thank you, dude. And also, giraffes are cool. Anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a nefarious-looking pirate running away with treasure. People are getting killed with string powers. The animals are running wild too. There's an elephant trying to bust down the bird cage.
I liked that scene with the elephant.
Yeah.
I don't know if Steve, if you like that as well, but it was just an elephant.
I like elephants.
But the Marines are powerless to do anything. Maynard is very upset by this, but he flashes back to talking to Fujitora when Fujitora scolded him for not listening to the people, to the anger of the people, and claims that the world government is pretending to be God, which actually this draws.
Yeah, we don't have to say it, but I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this previous segment and this segment.
So there's mass hysteria going on everywhere in Dressrosa. Children crying, dogs and cats living together. Luffy
I feel like we made that reference.
Proportions, guys.
Yeah. Back up in the palace, Luffy continues to try and fight Bellamy, Doffy, and the clone with his hands tied behind his back. It's actually pretty impressive. He does his octopus stamp, but then he does get stomped through the floor back into the castle.
I didn't like that. This is him getting stuck in the building for this arc. I realized it was done. It was done much better because he actually has to fight things, but throwing him down there.
I like the it makes him have to like innovate. I like that actually.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Doflamingo says to him, "What do you think happens to fallen celestial dragons?" Well, people, it turns out, can be very, very cruel to them, even if they're children. But I think so. Doflamingo exclaims that it's time for the execution, and Treble wants the law to be cut into many pieces.
This is an execution. Sorry, wrong podcast.
And at this point, Law asks the right question. So if Doflamingo is a fallen celestial dragon, why does he still have some power? Like, why does he have power with CP0 and stuff like that? But Doflamingo, because he was a celestial dragon, he knows about the national treasure held in Marijoa. I wonder what that means.
And Nicolas Cage is there.
But the knowledge of it would shake the world to its very core. It makes him a very dangerous man, so the celestial dragons have to treat him as such. But he would have been even more powerful if he had the Op fruit, which can bestow eternal life on a person at the expense of the holder's life. It's called the Perpetual Youth surgery.
Yeah, it wasn't as clear that it was immortality here. I think in the manga, it didn't say like it makes them immortal. I thought that's here just is like the fountain of youth, which I don't know if there's a difference, but
I don't know. I think in the Crunchyroll subs that I was watching, it seemed like it was pretty clear that it was immortality.
oh, okay,
The
Yeah,
fact that
I think it said eternal life.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
okay.
the fact that you're calling it op tells me you're not ready for immortality.
At that point, we take the ad break and we come back with a little mini recap as we used to have. We don't always have that, but it happened this week. But the sound of Law just sort of talking about it makes Doflamingo's veins bulge, and you can hear his veins bulge. Yeah. Dofi tells Law that he got all of his fighting skills from the Doflamingo family. He got Diamante's swordplay, Lauji's martial arts, and Gladius's marksmanship. Was it?
I got confused for a second because
Gunnery.
Gunnery.
I thought these were the names of Doflamingo's attacks.
Me too. I did too.
I'm like, oh, he's not really trying anymore.
So, but Korra is the one reason why he is still here today, Law retorts. Now it's time for flashback, guys. Flashback. Yes. Whoa. Diddle-doo, diddle-doo. Wait, that's extreme close-up.
Yeah. No, that's the redo.
So we see 10-year-old Law, a boy from the White Town, hanging out with Diamante and Trouble in Spider Miles in a garbage heap 16 years ago. Little Buffalo and Baby Five are there too, and he is being trained. Basically, he's being swatted away by Diamante, but he's already joined the Doflamingo family at this point in the story. But he wants to be an executive, and basically everyone laughs at him. But he says he's gonna die soon, so he has nothing to lose.
No, he's gonna die in 2 years and 3 months.
Well, we get there. Yeah, we get there in the next scene when Treble, or after Diamante smacks him away completely, and it's like, "Hey, Law, when are you gonna die? Huh? When are you gonna die? 3 years and 2 months. Wow, that's surprisingly specific." But as he says, he wants to destroy everything, just like Doflamingo does. And as we see, Korra-san has returned. He's a very clumsy man. And he's taking pratfalls, but the music stays really creepy, and the color's kind of washed out and weird. And he punches Baby Five, and without a second thought.
That was a little intense.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Can I mention just how much the music is? God, I love this. I love the music cue when he walks in, because that's the exact same feeling I got when he kind of walked through the door in the manga. Kind of this creepy, who the hell is this guy figure?
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't speak. He's Dofi's mute brother, and he doesn't like kids, so he throws Law out the window. Law is going to kill him if he doesn't kill himself by accident first by lighting himself on fire like he does at the end of the episode. And that was the episode.
That was a good way to end it. I mean, that's how it ended in the manga, I think, too. The chapter.
Yeah. I love the contrast of Law's I'm gonna kill him, and he's being very serious, and Korra is just lighting himself on fire.
Dude, what did you think of this episode?
You know how I feel about recaps. Despite the recap, we're starting to get into Law's flashback, and that's exciting. The anime tends to really go the extra mile with flashback, so I'm kind of excited.
Steve?
7-minute recap is shameful. Pretty much, I like the flashback.
They had to replay
stuff.
That entire Doflamingo monologue.
Oh my god, it was terrible. Even the picture on Crunchyroll was the picture from the previous episode.
Oh wow, you're right.
I like the flashback stuff. One of the things is I know the big stampede and all the people still trying to kill each other was expanded upon. I really like that scene with the kids when the Marine kind of stops the guys it's okay, I saved you, and they're just still crying. I don't remember that in the manga, but it goes really hand in hand with what Fujitora is saying. So
it also reminds me of Nami and Nojiko from so long ago.
I especially just like that scene because I'm oh wow, it's just showing oh hey, just because a Marine beat up this one guy doesn't mean it's it's over, and it goes with saying it's like they're not crying.
Yeah, it was an okay episode. There's a lot of time killing and the normal kind of issues with the anime. I'm very excited to what we're about to get into here. I was hoping they would do something a little more special with 700, but I should have known better.
Well, it's the beginning of Law's flashback. It's pretty damn important. And as much as I hated the recap time suck of all of this, I did enjoy each of the individual components. Like I liked the little bit.
I mean, I skip the recap.
Oh,
anyway.
me too.
I like I'll track it. The thing is, I usually go to like 4 or 5 minutes, and it was still going, still going. So it's I can't complain about it that much. I don't know. Any final thoughts?
No, I think, I mean, I wouldn't mind. God, I don't want the recaps to be this long, but I did enjoy the content of this episode. Like, but not exceptionally, but it was there.
Okay.
And yeah, I just, if the anime could maintain this quality like all the time and then exceed it occasionally, that'd be great. But we're gonna have some clunkers.
While we clunk along, why don't we get into the piece together segment?
Why don't we?
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and bounty predictions. And I did promise this on the manga recap. At least 4 or 5 of you guys asked it, so I'm just going to go around. There are 2 bounties in particular. I think the only 2 that we really need to concern ourselves. First, what do you think Law's... We don't even know what... Oh, no, Law's bounty was 210 before the war, I think. Something like that, when he was a supernova. Yeah. What do you guys think
his bounty increased when he became a warlord.
Oh, what was it? Do you know?
It's 490, I think.
490?
Bounties don't increase when you become warlord.
Well, prior to becoming...
Oh, okay.
It was really 490?
It's 400 and something.
I'll check that while we're talking. But what do you guys think Law's bounty will be? Dude, you want to start?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't think Law's bounty really matters, does it? You're overlooking one very important
it was 440, by the way. Go ahead.
Like, sure, Luffy's bounty is probably going to increase. But what about Usopp?
Oh, of course.
God, Usopp.
That's the thing.
Who I think won't be getting a bounty increase as Sogeking, but will have an entirely separate bounty poster.
Agreed. What do you think it'll be, though? How much?
Way too much.
Like 200
like
million or something?
If I could be a negative Nancy, really.
Oh, please, Nancy.
Don't call me Shirley.
Doflamingo was the one that it mattered most to. So maybe the world government be like, Doflamingo really hate this guy, but we don't see what's so special about him. But I really hope they believe the hype and they give him a huge bounty. It'd be hilarious. If it was bigger than Luffy's, but I think someone on the podcast pointed out that Usopp's bounty always mimics.
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
Good, he's in the room. He always mimics Luffy's past bounties. So where's
Luffy's former bounty after 30,000 is 100,000.
Okay, so maybe we could
100
see
million.
Yeah, 100 million.
100 million. Yeah. So we might see 100 million. Who knows?
I could definitely see that.
Really big for him.
Yeah, it would. And I think that would fit in with the rest of the crew very well too. I mean, does anyone else have any thoughts on God Usopp? I forgot to mention God Usopp.
I hope that I hope they think Sniper King and Usopp are different people.
I agree. I like that, dude.
That would be funny if there were just 2 of them for him.
I hope Usopp keeps developing these these alternate personalities. Personas.
I don't think that will happen. I mean, he may still get the title of God Usopp, but I think everyone knows, except for Luffy and Chopper, Sogeking and Usopp are the same person.
Well, do you think if there were 2 different ones, will he get 70 million for God Usopp and 30 million for Sogeking?
That would just be ridiculous.
To equal 100 million. No, okay. Any other predictions for Law that anyone has off? It was 440.
I don't know. I think Law's. I think Luffy's will increase more than say Law's. But
What about Zoro's?
I have a theory about Zoro too.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think Zoro's bounty always doubles.
What was it originally? It was
120.
Originally It was originally 60,
And now
then
it's
it
120?
became 120.
So you think it's going to be 240 makes complete sense. I could see that.
No, is that the double of that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because it would be kind of weird if Usopp had like almost as high of a bounty as Zoro did.
Yeah, so 240.
Big deal.
I think I could see both Luffy and Law at 500. I think.
And you know whose bounty won't go up? Sanji's.
Well,
He wasn't even in this arc.
Shut up.
Barely.
Shut up. He fought Doflamingo.
That's not going to make him feel better about it though.
do you know what's interesting? I didn't realize, but Sanji usually fights quickly, but fights the boss first because he also fought Lucci first, and I guess it's maybe Crocodile if you could count that as, but I don't know if I would count that.
Crocodile chased him around a little bit. But...
Yeah, that's true. But Sanji,
Your theory just fell right apart there, Zach.
no, well, he did with Lucci and he did with Doflamingo. So
and
it's not
Enaru,
been-
he got zapped by Enaru.
and he got well. I don't know if that counts, but
I
he's
count
been
that.
okay.
That wasn't a fight.
Exactly.
No, but Luffy met him before Sanji. Oh no, you're right.
got-
Sanji, yeah, never
No,
mind.
Sanji and Usopp got zapped on the ship.
Yeah, I just remembered that.
Yeah. Man, Sanji's really getting taken out in arcs.
Anyway, so I see them both at 500. It makes sense because they are an alliance and they should be around the same anyway. Also, Law's jump to 500 is much smaller than Luffy's jump to 500. It would only be 60 up for Law and 100 up for Luffy. Anyway, why don't we get into some other questions? First one's from Michael. What do you think Sabo and Luffy will talk about if and when they do meet up?
That's if.
So what have you been up to all these years?
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
it's
they're
like,
going to meet now.
I thought that was really good. I'm sorry.
Do other people actually think they're not going to meet at this point?
I don't know. It's,
They might not.
I'd be disappointed.
I think Sabo is going to scratch and claw and be like, no, I want to see my brother before I go.
I don't know.
They're both kind of like pirate-tempered captain personalities. They're going to do what they want.
Yeah.
I
Do
feel like
what you say.
I feel like Sabo might go back like to say goodbye to Luffy before he leaves, but on the other hand, they need to get out of there as discreetly as possible, as revolutionaries ought to. So
Yeah. I'm not sure what can be gained by them meeting right now anyway.
I don't know.
They can
Hey,
talk about, like,
Luffy,
Ace.
about your dad.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
good point.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I have a dad.
He'll
guess
forget
there's
again.
that.
Yeah.
honestly, I'm surprised. Robin hasn't. I'm just really interested to see or hear what Robin did.
Robin's
those 2
going to
years.
be cheeky about it. She's like, oh, how come you never told me? It's like, you tell me anything about my dad. It's like, oh, he never asked. Tee-hee.
Or it'd be funny if she's like, I did tell you, you fell asleep.
Well, you've seen that Luffy isn't really generally aware of the fact that he has a dad. So does he really care?
No.
I don't think it's on his mind.
Yeah.
There's another question. I like this one from Michael saying, let's say Luffy goes and fights Kaido. We think this is going to happen. How do you think Gecko Moria is going to fit into that equation? And he says basically that he might have some sort of alliance like he did with Crocodile and Buggy. Do you think Moria might come into play with the Kaido stuff since we know they have?
I don't know.
beef?
It's because I honestly thought that Arlong was going to make an appearance during Fishman Island, and he didn't. So
Well, he technically did.
in the flashback, but I thought we'd see where Arlong ended up, but we didn't. So
He ended
But-
up in
but-
jail.
But Moria, it was such a mysterious disappearance. Well, we pretty much know that Absalom helped him out, but we'll probably see Moria again. I just don't know if he's gonna play a big factor in this Kaido thing, unless he's kind of like the one to tell the Straw Hats about. He's the first character to tell the Straw Hats about who Kaido is or what he's like.
Well, the audience. I don't think he turned. Did
The
he tell
audience,
Luffy?
he turns to the camera.
Yeah,
Right.
he did. He mentioned right when Luffy, right when Moria was in the 1,000 Shadows, Shadows Asgard. He mentioned how Kaido defeated his crew, and then why Luffy says he's foolish for wanting to become the king of the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
The next one comes from Paige, who has a lot of questions, and I apologize if we don't get to all of them. First, how did Don Krieg escape the Grand Line after his confrontation with Mihawk?
I always guessed they just went through the comm belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that also contributed to the complete destruction, except for one ship of his entire armada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
so-
what she says as well. So that makes
It's not like I don't think it's impossible for a ship to get through the calm belt. It's just very unlikely. So like one in 500, you know.
Well, it seems like probably Brooks' old ship with Yorkie on it, I think probably got through the calm belt.
Or also, Mihawk could just clear the way. He kill any Sea King that came near him.
Mm-hmm.
And she also says a theory I found regarding Raftel's location includes that Raftel is some sort of man-made raft island, which is why people can't detect it with log poses, and located under Reverse Mountain, kind of like how Fishman Island is on the opposite side of the world. He says it can't be a coincidence that the Reverse Mountain is shaped like an X mark, and also how there's access via the calm belt where there's an undersea tunnel that leads to Raftel. I guess it's also how do you get to the... Yeah.
So it's actually called Raftel?
Oh. No.
Oh,
What?
okay. What?
A raft.
What?
Oh. God damn it.
Ed. It's possible. I don't know. It's like it's so far deep into the story, and we've gotten so few clues as to what Raftel is, or if that's the place where the One Piece is, or what the One Piece is.
Hold on there, Zach. Idea.
Yeah.
The moon is Raftel.
Jammer, stop spoiling people for my 20-page treatise that I'm putting together.
Treatise?
That's what I'm calling it.
The treatise.
Alan has the next question. So by going along with your read through, I have noticed that there are a lot of former villains that have gotten a cover story. So my question is, who from the current arc would you like to see get a cover story? He said he'd like to see either Senor Pink swimming around the New World or Baby Five adjusting to married life. Paul from Brisbane, Australia. What do you guys think?
The Adventures of Dellinger down to Fishman Island.
I think Senior Pink, I really don't want to see one, but he seems the type of character who would get one.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care about Senor Pink's redemption.
No, I don't either.
Give me the Dellinger story.
Or Twist, we get a Gladius one.
No.
Gladius is like Gladius starts his own webcam show. Today we're going to talk about this anime.
Honestly, I don't care about any of them. Which
Lao G.
I
No?
would-
Apparently, I'm the only one.
Lao G's like journey through the afterlife, I guess.
I mean, we saw the moon. Why not the afterlife? Anyway, John Jacob Jingleheimer's back.
Yeah, that's my name.
No, it's my name.
Okay, we made this joke already. You mentioned Luffy wanting a bronze statue of himself, but no one mentioned that the statue of Kyros in Dressrosa is a large bronze statue.
You think he's gonna steal it?
Yep. No, I think they're gonna make one of Lucy.
That's what John Jacob Jingleheimer suggests. Yeah.
He's on the ball.
That would be good.
La 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 la.
Probably because we have the same name.
Hey, me too.
Raul says, I don't know if anybody remembers, but there is one secret that hasn't been uncovered, and I was thinking about this. What is the mysterious suitcase that Bartolomeo was carrying around at the beginning of the arc? Could it be something that he wants to give the Straw Hats, a devil fruit, for example? What are your thoughts? Raul
I
from
totally
Luxembourg.
forgot about that.
That's a deep cut.
That one comes
Oh,
from
man.
Luxembourg, so...
It's
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
the suitcase.
His money
full
in the
of-
bank briefcase.
It's Marcellus Wallace's soul.
I was gonna say...
I'm actually a little suspicious that Oda completely forgot about that.
No,
His
you know
name
what?
isn't Toriyama.
Yeah, I have faith in Oda.
Who the hell is Lunch?
Loyal lunch is in the briefcase.
Lunch is a Dragon Ball character.
No, it's Bartolomeo's lunch. It says in there. I've been saving this hoagie for all day.
Do we have any real theories?
I don't know. I
Maybe it's just change of clothes.
No idea.
maybe it's a contract.
Yeah, what if it's something really lame like that?
What's in the box, man?
Straw Hat cosplay.
Could totally be that.
Party
That'd be
hats.
brilliant.
Yeah. Did he ever like mention
I have
what it
something
was?
for
I don't
you.
think he did.
A letter.
I've got something for you.
It's like the Seinfeld thing where he has the giant box that he has to carry the whole time, and all that's in it is this tiny little thing and a bunch of styrofoam peanuts. Anyway, Liam Tasker is the next question. When the Straw Hats were traveling from Punk Hazard to Dressrosa, Kinemon attacked Zoro because he noticed that Zoro has Ryuma's sword, and he said that the desecration of Ryuma's grave was a major incident. Do you think that there'll be a big misunderstanding when the Straw Hats get to Wano, and they'll be blamed for stealing Ryuma's corpse? I was thinking a part of this arc will be Zoro having to prove himself worthy of Ryuma's sword to those people.
I don't know if there's going to be that big of a misunderstanding, but I think Zoro is going to have to prove himself just to be worthy of carrying it. And I don't know if like the misunderstanding is going to be, because how long ago was the body stolen?
We don't know.
We don't really know that.
We just have to factor in when Brooks' shadow was stolen, which was 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was 7 years ago if you count the time skip.
So sometime before then.
No, it's a very good question. It's also interesting. I mean, I guess Zoro might be the protagonist of that arc when we get there. Like kind of be more of a main character than
God, that would be
usually is.
awesome.
That would be
Like
so
he
cool.
needs it.
I'm not saying he needs it, but it would make sense. Right?
Yeah, I like that.
Wouldn't it be funny if Sanji got like a big fight in Wano? That'd be cool.
Anyway, Connor says, the Blackbeard Pirates have 10 divisions led by the 10 Titanic captains. Say that 10 times fast. Don't actually say that 10 times fast. We saw the inclusion of Burgess this arc, with Sabo finally taking him out this chapter. I thought this was a great way to provide more villains to fight while developing multiple stories in a single arc. Do you think that we'll see Blackbeard's crew interspersed throughout future arcs to deal with multiple villains at once and to increase tension? Or do you think he'll save the bulk of the crew for a single event?
So you mean,
Like
does
the
he mean
first
like
one.
take them out one by one until we are left with like a few of them at the
No,
end?
but at least to kind of throw them in the story once per
Yeah.
arc, I guess, is
I
the
like-
way to put it.
I like that better.
Yeah, I hope they're thrown in, but I definitely want a big crew battle at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the emails we have. So, Ed, it's time to...
Peace the tweet. Yeah.
It is time to piece the tweet. What do we have this week, Ed?
First one is from Great Liver, who says, so if Doflamingo is Joker and Cora is a smoker, is Virgo a midnight toker?
Haha.
Yes. I say yes. The next one comes from Lithion, who says they finally caught up, marathoning every One Piece podcast episode. It took him 6 months. He would definitely do it again, though.
Even the
You are
boobcast?
crazy. No,
Even the boobcast.
shut up.
Best podcast episode ever.
Daniel Venard asks, why didn't Corazon try to get rid of Baby Dellinger? Wasn't that part of his job to try and get kids not to join?
Maybe half fisherman kids don't count. I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know.
What does that make Corazon like a racist? Like, it's like, what about the half breed? No.
I think like Dellinger was always just Jola's kid, right?
Yeah, I
It's not like
Oh, that's a good theory.
well, Jola raised Dellinger. We know that it was.
Yeah, but
mentioned
she
in
could have had a
this.
fisherman lover.
Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. I just figured like she adopted him and she was just taking care of him all the time.
yeah.
I mean,
It's not
Jola
like
and yeah, no,
She
never
was
mind.
foxy when she was young.
And,
maybe.
Corazon couldn't sit down with a baby. Like, go, go, ga. It's like, okay, listen, these are bad people. You need to get very far away. Go, go, ga.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Work with me.
What's next, Ed?
Next one comes from Sandro, who asks, do you think King Riku would let the Straw Hats make Dressrosa their first territory? I don't think that's how pirates work. Well, I mean, some pirates
not
control
their first.
islands, but that's not how the Straw Hats would work.
But it's
They
not
just sort of-
their
That's not true. That's not true, Ed. They've already claimed. Luffy claimed the Fishman Island his territory already.
Right.
The way to work in the New World is to claim territory.
Yeah, it's true, I guess.
It wouldn't be his first. First off, it would be his second. I mean, obviously, he has to work that out with Big Mom with Fishman Island. I could totally see it. Yeah, I think so.
You missed one from Michael, Ed.
You want to try asking that one? Because I don't really know what he's trying to ask here.
Like, who do you think most likely will be the next Straw Hat member?
Well, we do get asked this constantly.
We get this asked constantly. Jinbei is the easy answer.
I mean, because he
Bartolomeo.
is already, I think.
Bartolomeo is my wild card.
I mean, once we get Jinbei, that's 10 crew members, and that's it.
Well, no, but Bartolomeo is already captain of his own pirate crew.
I know. I'm just curious if Oda still remembers that. I wonder if he still remembers.
Are we
that.
giving Oda no credit today? I feel like we're
Yes.
giving Oda no credit today.
It's like if Oda just stopped drawing Nami into stuff. Like, what happened to Nami? I forgot about her. It just seemed like Android 17 was like was a more important
on.
character and include in this.
He's
montage.
not Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're realizing right now that how many pieces of story Oda has to juggle. And we're just like, well, we forgot about it. Maybe he forgot about it too. Who knows?
The thing is, Oda never forgets what we forget. The way
Rockstar.
okay, maybe Rockstar.
Yeah.
But
He definitely forgot about Rockstar.
the way I see it is, I marathon like 4 volumes today, for example, for the read through, and I feel like that's kind of how Oda processes it. Is he processes it on that very long-term level, like as if you're marathoning it, because things feel like they happen much quicker. So like the things that happen at the beginning of Dressrosa in Oda's mind, or as he's writing it, happened within the day instead of 2.5 years ago when we originally read it. So I think to keep that in mind is very important. I think he would remember a lot of these things. Ed, what's the next question?
Well, February Triwayo?
Keep trying to pronounce that.
Yeah, he responded to that question and said that he's convinced that Jinbei will be the next crew member. And he also asked, what about Law's crew in Zoe Island? What's their fate? What did they do there?
Waiting very patiently.
Yeah.
Playing Monopoly.
Being a cute polar bear guy.
Playing charades.
Well, remember, Law and Luffy made this alliance to supposedly take down Kaido. Maybe the next step in taking down Kaido is at Zoe.
Could be.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this means anything, but it's like zoological, so maybe it has something to do with animals? Who knows?
Or I think Zo is elephant in Japanese, I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Funk Freed in Japan's the Zozoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Cool. Next question comes from Gamer305, who asks, what are the best and the worst fillers of One Piece in your opinion?
Oh boy.
This
The best and the worst, huh?
This is my field of expertise.
I think we can all agree which one the best is.
Best. Hands down.
Spyland.
G8. I think everyone. I don't like
The Amigo
What's-
Pirates.
Oh.
God.
what's the minimum length to consider an arc?
3 episodes.
3 episodes. So Spa Island wouldn't count.
Yeah.
Spa
One of
Island-
Whatever filler arc is the shortest.
The worst one,
Pedo guy.
I was gonna say the most recent one actually might be my
you guys
least
are so
favorite.
harsh on that one. I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't like that one.
It was really bad.
Hands down, I think the worst are still Apis and Little East Blue. Best, I think no one's gonna argue that that G8 isn't the best filler.
In all honesty, Little East Blue is not one of the worst. It's kind of middle of the road.
I remember it being pretty bad.
A Piece
was
is
terrible.
probably the worst just because it's the longest.
But now we have a new appreciation for the Apis arc.
We do? Oh,
Yeah.
They have barbecue.
and the best piggies in the blanket on the whole island.
Best piggies in the blanket on the whole island. Jammer,
famous
stay
for that.
10 feet away from the beach.
Just stay away. What's next, Ed?
Quarantine.
A few questions from Dark Leviathan. First one's for the JoJo readers or watchers. If you could give any Straw Hat a stand, who would get it and what would it be?
Oh my god, I like that crossover idea.
Like any existing stand or just like a new stand?
I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, I read JoJo once, so
The
I don't know.
world.
So
what a glorious place. Seek freedom and it'll
show up before you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Steve, we don't need to hear you sing all of Hikari.
No, but seriously,
Okay.
what
Good.
stand
I
would
guess,
you give
yeah,
one
I
of the Straw
totally
Hats,
know
guys?
the whole song. Yeah. This is tough.
Well, okay, who would get
if-
Jotaro's?
Why don't we go by their devil fruit abilities and then just turn that into a stand?
So Ace/Sabo would be Avdol.
Yeah.
What's the name of that stand again?
Magician's Red.
Magician's Red. How could I forget Magician's Red?
Yeah. Actually,
Brooke would be Poneglyph. I'm losing my mind.
Killing me, Zach. You're killing me.
Ponelrev.
Poneglyph.
What?
Ponelrev. They said like Bonnaroo?
Waterloo. That's the thing. I still am not too far into JoJo, so like, and once you get into part 4, there's like way more stands too. So
maybe we should save this question until
Table it.
Yeah, and we see part 4. Until the anime for part 4 starts coming out, probably. What's next? I'm sure they are. It's doing very well, I think.
Hopefully. The other Dark of Leviathan questions. First, did you guys notice the apple tips on the houses of the neighboring Snow Island? Yes, we did. It's in the manga recap. And also he asked, now that the birdcage is gone, do you think we will call the Twirly Brow Pirates to see what they are up to?
Hopefully, if everyone still remembers that there's like 4 more members of the crew.
I have forgotten recently. Like when you asked me to name the Straw Hats, the ones I forget are going to be some of those 4.
What if Oda just forgets about those other Straw Hats and we just move on with the rest of the story? He was like, "Oh, I forgot about those guys."
If I wasn't doing the read through, I would fear that I would be forgetting those characters.
No,
Not Toriyama.
I'm kidding.
No, not Oda, me.
I hope everyone knows I'm kidding when I say that.
What's next?
Next question's from OP Burner, who asks, Tontada derived from tonta, the Spanish word for dumb. Tontada are a tribe of gullible little people of Dressrosa? Connection?
Probably,
Yes,
because
probably, yeah.
Dressrosa is big on the whole Spain thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Protopia asks, will Luffy ever defeat a main villain on his own? After how tough Doflamingo was, I can't see Luffy beating a Yonko without help.
What do you mean by help?
Because he had Law was able to weaken Doflamingo some, and he had like a lot of help from all the citizens and stuff, keeping him away and stuff, or keeping him from happening.
Luffy's taken down strong opponents on his own before. He'll just get to that level where he will.
I hope not. I think it's more interesting if he doesn't. Like everyone, has a role to play in this story. It's not the whole theme of One Piece is that no one is sufficient by themselves.
Yeah, but at the same time, what Luffy's good at is kicking that guy's ass. That's his specialty. Everyone else has, I can't navigate. It was the Arlong speech. I don't know how to navigate. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to cut things with swords. But I can kick this guy's ass.
Hey.
I don't know how to lie.
hey.
But yeah, that's why I asked, what do you mean by help? Because I assume that's why I love the series. It's like it's crew dynamics.
Yeah.
And if Luffy can be there and charge the main bad guy, but like that guy's got other people to back him up. That's why he needs his crew there, also like to fend off.
Well, I mean,
to keep those guys away.
I liked the Sabaody, or however we're pronouncing it now, Shabadi. The
Shuma. The Kuma fight.
Shabandi.
Right, the Kuma, the pacifista / Kuma fights when they all work together to defeat
Those
it.
are great.
And
Oars
Luffy
was
lands
great.
the final blow. And Oars also.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see more of that. Sure. I think with Kaido that's possible. I don't know.
I don't think. I mean, Oda will do that on occasion. We'll have like all the Straw Hats team up to take down like a big opponent, like something like Orange Jr. It's the same thing.
Well, I
not
think,
Orange Jr. Orange. I mean,
I think we also have to throw out these preconceptions. This is going to be the worst pun I've ever made. We're in a new world here, and
a dazzling place we never knew.
And the thing is, now we have alliances, and we have a very different kind of set of infrastructure that you need as a crew.
Yeah. But like it's still like shonen format where like the main character still has the one-on-one with the main villain for the arc. Even if people contribute to taking it down, it's still like Luffy's got to deliver the final blow. Luffy's got to like have the one-on-one, like nobody interfere in my fight type deal.
Yeah, but I think that's has more and more potential to change as we go down the line. I think Law and his crew. I think we're going to get a lot of other ships, Bartolomeo's potentially joining the Straw Hat cause, and I'm very interested to see how that affects the normal fight dynamic that Oda's kind of grown accustomed to. I think it'll be interesting. Ed, what's next?
Last one comes from Himawari323 on Twitter, and it might be a bit early, but she's so excited for this. Any plans for New York Comic Con?
Well, we never do panels, mostly because it's impossible. So
I don't even know if I'm going to be there, so I can't say.
I will definitely be there. I think there's other podcast people who will hopefully be around. We'll definitely do a meetup. I'll see if we can put together something cool this time for New York Comic Con, because I don't know how much I'll actually be at the convention, and Steve, I don't know if he'll be there, so we won't have our normal like kind of presence at the con itself, but we'll probably do something outside of the con, either at night or during the day. So keep a lookout. We probably won't decide that for a while, though.
Yeah.
We had we had one email I want to mention that wasn't labeled pieced together, so I didn't see it. But remember, guys, if you wanted to get read on the air, you got to label the subject pieced together. But he's a new listener, so I'm going to cut him some slack here. This one comes from James, who says he has 2 questions. He's been listening to recent episodes, but he's going back to listen to older ones every so often. Good luck. He says, who is the supernova you would like to see most show up again?
Yarouge, kind of, at this point.
Yeah.
After what all we've been talking about the last few weeks.
That's true.
I never thought I'd say that after the beginning, because I was always sort of lukewarm on him, but now that I think about the sky and space more...
Brian, did you hit them?
Yeah,
with your theory?
I hit that theory.
That's a nice theory.
Yeah.
I've always liked doing Rouge for that reason. The second I saw he was from a Sky Island and had those specific wings, I was like, oh, so this is now an official thing that people can't deny.
And why is he so happy?
Well, do you want to quickly just say the theory for those who, for some reason, didn't listen to or read through episodes?
Sure. If anyone remembers, there's a small panel in Skypiea that Captain McKinley talks about where Inaru and his crew came from another island called Blinka. If you notice, Inaru's crew members and a lot of the like God's militia, the goat people, they have specific larger wings, which Rouge also has those same type of wings. So I assume that's the Blinka people. But within that flashback, or within that retelling, they said Inel destroyed his island, and at the time there was a powerful Sky Knight who tried to defend against it. My theory is that Rouge is that Sky Knight. And that's why I think Rouge was heading towards that Lightning Island, which he was kind of afraid of and nervous of in one way or another.
Yeah.
Is there any other supernova people are really excited to see?
Gang.
Capone. Yeah, I want to see the ones that we haven't seen, like Capone, and I guess Bonnie. I want to figure out what the hell her deal is.
Yeah,
I think my number 2 right now is Drake, actually.
And
yeah,
Drake,
that's a good one.
I always want to see Drake just because he has a cool fruit power.
But with Kaido coming up, maybe.
I think we will, yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to be on the same side or something. It was weird because he was going to confront Kaido at the end of the time
Drake
skip.
Drake is a weird animal. Kaido has, he's lots of animals, so.
Yeah, maybe he pledged allegiance to Kaido after all that. And why not? Who knows what Kaido's like? All we know is that Doflamingo was really afraid of him, which makes me wonder how the hell is Luffy going to be?
Well, and he destroyed Moria's crew.
Yeah, he did that too. But Moria's kind of a bastard, so maybe Kaido's not a bad guy.
I mean, just the way it seemed so easy for him to do
it's possible, that some of these guys are not terrible people, like sometimes you get surprised and you're like, oh, you're not terrible. But I mean, with the Emperors, that's, I guess, a little less likely, except for Shanks, who we know.
I'm not sure that would work out conflict wise. Like, oh, we're cool with 8, or we're cool with Shanks, we're cool with Big Mom, we're cool. Okay, so I'm
not saying with all of them. I'm saying with 1 or 2 of them.
Right.
The second part of the question was, he says, and I think Ed, you probably relate to this stuff more. I'm heavily into the voice acting side of the anime, so when I hear familiar voices that I know, I tend to recognize it. So for the Dressrosa arc, has some of the most surprising amount of voice actor veteran talent that I've seen, including Akira Ishida as Cavendish, why did I pick to choose this to read this? Megumi Hayashibara as Rebecca, but what really shocked me is Toru Furuya as Sabo. It was a complete surprise to see him voice acting a new character after so long. Were any of these guys a surprise for you too?
What's funny is that Sabo's voice actor was handpicked by Oda himself during the audition process. And, Oda being a big fan of Dragon Ball, of course, and Gundam, it seemed like a pretty easy fit. For those of you who are listening and don't know who Furuya-san is, he voiced Amuro Ray in Mobile Suit Gundam, and he was Yamcha in Dragon Ball.
Oh, I didn't know he was Yamcha.
Yep. And for those who didn't know, Megumi Hayashibara is the voice of Ayanami Rei from Evangelion.
Yep.
And what about who was the last one? Akira Ishida? Anyone know?
That one I don't know.
I should probably just look that up. But any other people you were shocked about, or?
Not really. No. I can't think of any others besides those. I'm sure there are a few.
Mr. Ishida, of course, was the ogre intern in Dragon Ball Z. No, he was. I think he was the main character in Gundam Seed and other shows.
He's Gaara in Naruto. And Nagisa in Evangelion.
He's in Parasite too, for those excited about that show. I should probably watch that at some point, since I've heard good things. That's the show that people have been talking a lot about, right? Anyway, you want to round off the show?
I think it's about time.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 375 for July 6, 2015. Thank you all for coming on the show. Jammer had to unfortunately run out, but please check out his podcast, the Animanga Podcast, at animangapodcast.com, and his website, josephmedina.com, and he has a book out, Dangerous Faces. Check all that out on his website. Bryan, where can people find you?
People can find me at Dark King Zoro, all one word, on Twitter.com, and Banendorf on DeviantArt. And you can look forward to new episodes of Teen Titans Go, airing Season 3. I don't know when, but soon. And Rick and Morty Season 2, July 26th. I believe that's a Monday night. Those should be Rick's coming up!
And Steve, where can people find you?
In Studio City, in beautiful Los Angeles, California.
And on the internet?
And on the internet, you can follow me on Twitter at Steve Yurko. Follow me on Tumblr, steveyurko.tumblr.com. Alex finally posted those awesome jam comics from AwesomeCon, so check those out. And also, follow me on DeviantArt, thesteveyurko.deviantart.com, and go to my website, steveyurko.com. I'm a guy.
Dude, where can people find you?
Well, Zach, as always, the good people can find me on Tumblr and Twitter under the same handle, Dude! All one word. You can also find me occasionally at a theater near you. And by theater, I mean stage show, because Super Art Fight's coming to your town. Say, what are you guys doing this weekend? Are you going to be in Connecticut for Connecticon? Because if you are, I'll be there. That's right, me, the dude, also known as Alex Kazanas. You can find me with Super Art Fight there. We're going to be doing 2 shows. We're going to be doing an Unleashed show that's 18 plus for you, kids who like checking out drawings of dicks and such. We're doing one of those shows on Friday, and we're doing one of our regular shows on Saturday. You get to see the debut of my brand new character, Captain Salsa Verde. Well, the debut was technically last week, but either way. And I mentioned this at the top of the show, but July 24th, if you're in town in Baltimore for Otakon, please check out Super Art Fight Unleashed. More details can be found on superartfight.com in regards to that. And also, check out 20 Minutes of Bullshit, which is Steve and I's sister podcast, where we just talk about whatever we want. It's pretty great. And I'm passing it off to the next person.
And how could the good people out there contact us?
Well, Zach, you and I are on Twitter at Edward E. Festizio and Zach_Logan. The podcast can be found at onepiecepodcast.com, twitter.com, youtube.com, and facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. OnePiecePodcast is our Skype name. OnePiecePodcast.tumblr.com for news updates and funny pictures. Subscribe on SoundCloud. Subscribe on the Stitcher Smart Radio app. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, or call us on our phone number. Zach?
That phone number is 347-497-MAJI. That phone number is 347-497-6254. Call anytime. With your questions, comments, and theories. We got some questions as to why we haven't been taking phone calls or Reddit emails for Piece Together. We have not gotten any phone calls. You feel free to call that number, leave a message. Forgive me if I don't get used to it right away, getting phone calls, because I'm not used to it. But send those in. And I think we'll probably open the Reddit up for questions and theories and stuff in the next week or two, so keep an eye on reddit.com/r/onepiece for that. We like doing that. We got in trouble for doing it too much, so we'll hopefully be back soon. I think that is everything. If you have not checked out the One Piece read-through, we encourage you strongly to check out the One Piece read-through. We went through some of our favorite arcs last week, the Davy Back fights and the Water 7 arc. This week we are going, it is all NES Lobby and post-NES Lobby fun.
Including Robin's flashback.
Including all the big, huge reveals from the end of that arc. So that's, again, going to be volume, what did we leave off? 39 through 45? Is that it?
Yeah, I think and a couple of chapters of volume 38
as well.
Yeah.
And I think one chapter of 46, because I think it ends right in the middle of a fight at 45, so I just kind of want to conclude that. The anime does a better job because it's like a standalone episode, I think, for the Ace Blackbeard fight. But yeah, please check that out. Please tell your friends who are just getting into One Piece they could start from the beginning. We kind of try to make it this kind of standalone kind of thing. It's been a ton of fun. And yeah, so listen to that. You can check out all the episodes at onepiecepodcast.com/OP readthrough. So until Thursday, my name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi.
My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing. I'm great.
Oh,
How you
good.
been?
Oh, I've been just great. I've been great.
Oh, yeah.
So great.
Why you whisper?
I don't know, because I miss you,
Oh.
and it made me feel tender,
Oh.
like a big old basket of chicken tenders from Denny's.
That sounds delicious.
That's right, Mr. Fantastic's chicken tenders. You can get that at Denny's. It's the new Fantastic Four
personally
Valley Meal.
I like the Invisible Woman slam because what I'd like to do to Invisible Woman.
See, what I like is the big orange thing burger. It has big orange thing sauce on it.
I like the Human Torch grill that everything is cooked on.
Yeah, and I like the Doctor Doom shake with tons of mercury in it.
It's imported.
It's fresh from the planet Mercury.
Or I was gonna say Doomsylvania, wherever the hell.
Latveria.
Okay. Wonderland. Yeah. Maybe you and I sometime should.
Hey, maybe we should go on a date to Denny's.
Yeah, it's you paying?
Yeah, let me hop in my plane.
Are we still recording?